What's a sign that someone is lonely? They will hang out with people that treat them like shit just to not be alone. It's difficult to end a conversation with them. Weirdly, when someone who is usually outgoing starts withdrawing. I experienced this. I was isolating myself and lost a lot of friends because of it. But all I wanted was them to show up for me. I can't explain it, but withdrawing is a sign. They'll ask about you and what you have going on but never really mention anything of substance about themselves. This is me. I talk to people about themselves because I have nothing to say about me. They clicked on this thread to see if anyone replied with things that applied to them. I know so many people, I know so many people, I know so many people, but I don't have any friends. Things feels pointless when there's nobody to share them with. Replying multiple times to a Reddit thread hoping for conversation. When responses are negative to them, they still go on because negative attention is better than no attention at all. Workaholic. Focus on getting praise from superiors at work to make up for what they are not getting in their personal life as well as distract themselves. I'm one of them. They are constantly on Discord, Reddit, just looking for someone to talk to. My experiences being a lonely ass recluse is that I enjoy the stories others have about their life. And I try to make anyone laugh. I love making people feel loved and cared about. Me right now crying in my bed BC I have no friends to hang out with and it's Halloween and I'm spending it at home like I always do every weekend. Edit. Wow, I guess we're all really fucking lonely LMAO. Almost 80,000 comment karma in a little under 7 months. Show a bit of friendliness and they will grab onto it like your best friends for ages. To borderline obsession. Clinging onto you and the hand you reached out. Might just be me though. When I'm particularly lonely, I find myself glomming onto any branches of social interaction. I'm particularly harsh on myself. So I see it as extreme desperation. But I think it just comes off as awkward eagerness, woman shrugging, light skin tone. They talk to anyone about everything. They go out to crowded places by themselves to people watch just so it feels like they have company. They text call what friends they do have a lot. Talking to themselves or to their pets a lot. Almost like to another person. Are clinging to people who give positive attention, interest like a coworker, etc. Are wanting to be around people, crowds, but unable to interact with them. They rarely leave the house for any activity besides work. Frequently asks what others are doing. Never have any plans to spend their free time. When I get lonely, I get quiet and that leads to depression. Coming from experience. They are awkward around crowds. They tend to not know how to speak to people or don't immerse themselves in the crowd. Mainly because they don't know anyone well enough. You can't know, not really. Suicidal ideation. Me, I am lonely. They talk about the past more than they do about the present. Overshare when someone asks about them, due to the excitement shock of being talked to. At my loneliest you won't see me, so I think it is hard to find signs of it. If I have to be public I am alone and don't say anything if I am lonely so that I guess. When someone asks you something they could have easily Googled, they most likely just want the interaction with a person. Staring at people. Just watching a lot. I was always bullied and asked if I had a staring problem growing up. And people still think that. Maybe I do. But I'm really just curious. Lonely. And watching other people be happy and interact. Wishing that was me deep down. But it just never works out for me. So I watch it work out for others. So many of these comments hit me so hard it's painful. Inability to cut off toxic people or groups. When you take the long way home from work because you don't want to go to your empty house again. Spending all their time alone. Me. They are super happy to see friends at public places like stores. You rarely see photos on social media of them hanging out with friends. They rarely leave the house except for work, school errands. They talk to anyone about anything. They go out with friends, always smile, come home and cry. People are strange. When you're a stranger, faces look ugly. When you're alone, women seem wicked. When you're unwanted, streets are uneven. When you're down, I don't care who you are or where you're from. If you are lonely, talk to me. I am here. DM and chat open. If you are lonely, I am here for you. You don't need to be alone. For real, I'm here. A sign that someone is lonely is if they start withdrawing from social activities and spending more time alone than usual. People who are feeling lonely may also become distant in their relationships, stop engaging in conversations, or become short-tempered and out of sorts. Longer stretches of time without meaningful connections or interactions can lead to a feeling of being disconnected, misunderstood, and isolated. Having a deep knowledge on a lot of random topics because I have to fill my time with something, so why not? Lore, history, mythology, theology, etc. Oversharing. Loneliness is like a drug. The more of it you have, the more of it you seek, because fixing the issue means facing what started it in the first place. They eagerly trying to keep other people warm. To accompany lonely people. Loneliness is the leading cause of death. Suicidal thoughts, crying all alone for no reason. Lots of elderly people I talk to like to go on about very small things when I work. I normally stop what I am doing and have an actual conversation with them, since I just assume sometimes they might be lacking conversations with other people. I recognize it in myself because I really dislike weekends now. There's a lot of time to fill. Latch strongly onto anyone who they perceive as a friend, even if it isn't that deep. When you actually had a good day and have nobody to talk to about it. This is a little specific to me. They don't speak about their interests. My interests are odd, or say the least. I like aviation. My graduate school coursework is unheard of, not useless. Matter of fact, it's pretty major. Just unheard of by the masses. And my music preferences are creepy. My appearance physically would not in any way suggest I'm into any of those things. I don't really have much on my mind either. I can join in on a conversation sometimes, but not always. I definitely cannot start one. Sometimes. I don't even know why I'm lonely. I just am. Contemplating why can be exhausting. The eyes, Chico, they never lie. Where do I begin? I'm often lonely. I live alone and don't have many friends. At least a few times a week I FaceTime my dad or brother. They live far away from me. I've noticed in myself that I don't want to hang up even if there's nothing else to talk about. I could have the most bland conversation, but if they want to hang up, I practically beg them not to. Being on Reddit. Use Reddit as their primary form of social media. Laughing louder than normal when a joke comes up in conversation. They have this need to randomly invite anyone to do anything together. Grumpiness. Reading these comments, definitely a lot of signs I see about myself. Insulting anyone else that is actively social. It's a non-intensive reaction resentment move that most people make when they are envious or jealous of how easy the other person can be in that situation and not anxious. Me, it's me. Hello.